So, good morning to everyone. Today, the important topic that is hormones of heart, kidney, and the gastrointestinal tract. So, here these hormones are very special kind of hormones because of these hormones are not secreted by the endocrine glands. So, when example, arterial wall of our heart is important here. Arterial wall means atrium means auricles, the upper chambers. The upper chambers of heart walls secrete a very important peptide hormone called atrial natriuretic factor. That is ANF, atrial natriuretic factor. Briefly, it is called ANF. So, which decreases the blood pressure. So, which decreases the blood pressure is it is important. ANF hormone, which is secreted by the auricle walls. So when blood pressure is increased, ANF is secreted, which causes dilation of the blood vessels. This reduces the blood pressure. So ANF should play a major role to decreasing of blood pressure in the uh, blood vessels. And another one, the juxtaglomerular cells of kidney. So we know that in a nephron, in Bowman's capsule, a group of blood vessels are called glomerulars. So there, a peptide hormone will be secreted that is erythropoietin. Erythropoietin. This erythropoietin, which helps to the stimulate the erythropoiesis, means production of RBC. Erythropoiesis means production of RBC. We know that the lifespan of RBC is 120 days. So after that they will be died. But new RBC is formed by this with the help of this protein is called erythropoietin, which helps to the process is called erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis means production of RBC means red blood cells, and also endocrine cells present in different parts of the gastrointestinal tract, that is called food pipe or gut or alimentary canal. So we know that alimentary canal or digestive tract or food pipe. So mainly it secretes four major peptide hormones. Four major peptide hormones, namely gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin, and a gastric inhibitory peptide. Gastric inhibitory peptide. So these four hormones should play a major role, help in the diet system. So if you take the gastrin, so gastrin acts on the gastric glands and stimulate the secretion of HCl acid and pepsinogen. So these gastric glands are located in the stomach walls. So gastrin hormone, which helps to the stimulate the gastric glands and then secretion of HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, so which helps to the whenever the excessive E. coli bacteria is there in stomach, they may reduce. Whereas pepsinogen, it helps to the convert the uh, proteins into peptones. So and another hormone which is secreted by the gut or food pipe or gastrointestinal tract, that is secretin. Secretin. So secretin acts on the exocrine pancreas. We know that previous already we studied pancreas is a mixed gland. Half portion belongs to endocrine, half portion belongs to exocrine. Endocrine pancreas produce hormones, exocrine pancreas produce enzymes. That is you have to keep in your mind. So enzymes, The exocrine part of the pancreas produce enzymes. So these enzymes mainly helps to digestion of lipids, carbohydrates. So and also helps to the stimulate the secretion of water, bicarbonate ions. So cholecystokinin act on the both the pancreas and gallbladder. You know that gallbladder is located in the liver. Stimulate the secretion of pancreatic enzymes, that is bile juice, which is produced by the liver. And another important one, gastric inhibitory peptide, that is briefly called GIP. Gastric inhibitory peptide helps to the inhibit the gastric secretion and motility, gastric secretion and motility. So several other non-endocrine tissues secrete secrete hormones called growth factors. These factors are essential for the normal growth of tissues and their repairing and generation. So another important one, let us discuss the mechanism of hormone action. Hormone action. So hormones produce their effects on target tissues by binding to specific protein called a hormone receptor located in the target tissue only. Hormones receptors present on the cell membrane of the target cells are called membrane bound receptors. The receptors present inside the target cell are called intracellular receptors. Mostly nuclear receptors present in the nucleus. So binding of a hormone to its receptor leads to the formation of a hormone receptor complex. Each receptor is specific to one hormone only, hence receptors are specific. Hormone receptor complex formation leads to certain biochemical changes in the target tissue. So when the hormone bind with the receptor, both together form as a complex. This HRC means hormone HRC means hormone receptor complex. When the HRC hormone receptor complex are present, immediately they bring number of changes in the targeted tissues. Targeted tissues. So mainly physiological functions are uh, regulated on the basis of their chemical nature. Hormones can be divided into the following groups. So peptide, polypeptide, protein hormones. So peptide, polypeptide, protein hormones. Example: insulin, glucagon, which are both are secreted by the pancreas. Pituitary hormones like growth hormone, prolactin, oxytocin, vasopressin, and these are what we can say that pituitary middle lobe secrete melanin and hypothalamic hormones. So these are comes under peptide, polypeptide, protein hormones. We can say. Next is steroids. So steroid hormones are cortisol, testosterone, estradiol, and progesterone. So cortisol and these are produced by the adrenal gland. So testosterone hormone produced by the testis when the pituitary gland stimulates, that is for LH and FSH. So estradiol and progesterone, which is also secreted by the uh, gametes like ovaries. So thyroids. So thyroid hormones, example, thyroid hormones, amino acid derivatives means epinephrine, which is secreted the medulla of adrenal gland. So hormones which interact with the membrane-bound receptors normally do not enter the target cell but generate second messengers like cyclic AMP, IP3, calcium, which in turn regulates cellular metabolism. So hormones which interact with the intracellular receptors such as steroids, hormones, iodothioneins, mostly regulate gene expression or chromosome functions by the interaction of hormone receptor complex. So with the genome, there will be a cumulative biochemical actions result in the physiological development and development effects. So here you can see this how the hormones interact with the other secondary messengers like if you take hormone, that is follicle stimulating hormone, and which act bind with the ovarian cell membrane and act as a receptor. So now when both together, that is follicle stimulating hormone and a receptor, that is ovarian cell membrane, combine and generation of a second messenger, that is cyclic AMP or calcium plus plus. So when you see this, how the biochemical reactions are carrying out, so the physiological responses. So ovary growth will be carried out. So when there will be a follicle stimulating hormone attached to the ovarian follicle of the ovary, then there will be a generation of second messenger like cyclic AMP and which carried out biochemical responses, and then ovarian growth will be carried out. In this way, hormones linked with targeted tissues